Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's God killing the house, yo. And I come to do what I got to do, and I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm standing tall. I'm standing strong. Hey, y'all know what it is, man. Bobby banging this bitch. What's good, family? Man, it's a good morning, man. Show some love and some support, man. I dropped the Cash App link early, man. If y'all want me to have these morning shows like this, man, just show some support, bro. You know, we try and get some coffee first thing in the morning. Got to have the coffee in the morning, man. I'll probably be going 9 o'clock solid, all right? Just got to show some love, yo. Man, I appreciate everybody, man, and all the support, man, on sa.neter Studios, man. You know, that's where I'm at. Let the people come up here in a little bit, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe the video to get us in the algorithm. Make sure y'all support the community of skeptics. We had 4,300 subscribers, man. We want to get at least 5,000 solid subscribers. I think that to be very, very important, man. Let me see if I can drop that link. And to be certain and to be sure, let's see. Yeah. Y'all gotta make sure y'all subscribe, yo, else y'all ain't gonna be able to even comment in the daggone thing. So yeah, subscribe, man. If you want to comment, man, make them daggone subscribers, man. Subscribe and keep it going. It's important, all right, to do that, man. Let's get some people in here before we get this thing cracking. All right, give it a couple minutes, man. Before we can get it going, man. But appreciate everybody. See if I can find a link for the community of skeptics real quick. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to that. And we want to talk about destruction of the Black civilization. We want to talk about the video with Jabari and Ankh. We had a conversation about the Hyksos. I also want to talk about brother Saladin that came on and I felt like did a good presentation. He didn't finish. Hopefully sa.neter will get him back on. But I talked about destruction of Black civilization being out of date, man. And some people took offense to that. But if you don't know me, then you would take offense to it. But if you know me, you understand that's my favorite book. But at a certain point, we got to keep moving forward. All right. And so I want to show you exactly where, just in one part, where it's out of date. That way we can get straight to it. So it was a good conversation with me and Jabari. I came to New York. Hopefully I'll be back in New York soon. Got some peoples out there, man, I want to holler at, man. Probably run through the museums with Reggie. Hopefully we can get the bomb squad, the pseudo squad. I call them the pseudo squad. Get them to go on the daggone tour. That way half the stuff they be saying, they won't realize it in the daggone museums. Interesting, right? So let's see if I can get back. Let me look on my phone. I think I had a timestamp. We going back and forth. Me and Jabari, you know, just fun. That's how we do it. So let me see. I should go back to here. 27 minutes. That's a long time, man. I got 27 minutes, and then I got the hour. Shoot. I wonder what that was, the 27 minute mark. When we was going back and forth. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can get that up there real quick, man. All right. So yeah, it's important, man, for us to realize our potential. But you know what? We can't realize our potential, man, if we stay stuck in the damn mud. And just like with science, for science to get you where they got to, right? They had to break away from the authority. This community is like the daggone Egyptians, thoroughly entrenched in the ways of old. Sometimes the very thing that make you great is the thing that gets you in the end. It's like an athlete that's been good in his career. And every time he catch a touchdown, he say, thank God. And then somebody come around and say, hold on, man, there's a better way to understand this thing right here, bro. Don't use God. He's not going to do it because he's successful at it, so he thinks. Just like when you're wearing your favorite shirt underneath your jersey for your favorite football team and they winning. You're not going to not have that t-shirt on underneath your jersey. Homo sapiens sapiens are very spooky, shall I say. So when I come in this community, I ask you to change your ways and thinking, you're saying, what you talking about, man? It's how we learned it. So when I say stuff like break away from the authority of the elders, that doesn't mean that you're disrespecting them. You're actually giving them the best respect, because all they really wanted was for us to carry the legacy and be more successful. Simple as that. All right. I ain't triggering nothing. I'm doing my thing. So show some love, man. Morning time. Coffee break. Yeah, I mean. Let me get this thing started, man. We get some music going, man, to get me into the daggone groove, man. Or how I want to do this thing, man. I think I want to start off with this real quick. That'll get me going, man. Let's see. All right, let me see if I can get this thing started with.
War 3 out here.
Because it's
more like Vietnam. Niggas don't make it, they gone. Take 2 steps forward and 4 steps back. I'm Baltimore. We kill the trap. Swinging baseball bats. Hunting pseudos.
Yeah, we hunting pseudos.
Not a business. We hunting pseudo. You know how that goes. Niggas double talk. Brains blow. Not a business. We hunting pseudo. You know how that goes. Niggas double talk. Brains blow. Now what about scams and the lies told? We know what pseudo do. They play expert. Fake doctor in their mind. I'm killing pseudos. They running. Now what about scams and lies told? We know what pseudo do. They play pro. I'm an intellectual gunfighter. I'm shooting for the knowledge. I got the stomach for it. Them niggas know it, and I'm not going for it. It's all you for it. It's all you for it. I'm an intellectual gunfighter. I'm shooting for the knowledge. I got the stomach for it. Now back to killing pseudos. We know how it goes. Niggas double talk. Brains blow. Now back to killing pseudos. We know how it goes. Niggas double talk. Brains blow. They talk foolish shit. They shooting from the hip. I been pulled out the blick. I'm quick, Michael Vick. My talk stay slick. I'm loud on the mic. Stay focused for the people. They talk foolish shit. They shooting from the hip. My talk stay slick. I'm loud on the mic. I'm loud on the mic. Stay focused. For the people, back to the business. Clips full of knowledge, shooting hollow tips. Ready equipped, shooting with aim. You shooting from the hip. Pseudo stay crashing. I'm Lamar Action Jackson. I'm basking, running in between the raindrops. Knowledge. We hunting pseudo. We hunting pseudo.
Yeah, we hunting pseudos all day long, man. And listen, there was a lecture on here the other day. Brother Saladin. He had 4 sources. I want to focus on the 1 source. 2 was great and 2 wasn't so great. I just want to focus on my favorite work right here. You see, it's all read up. To the point, you know, when the pages is dirty, that comes from getting that oil off your fingers. That's how much I've read this work. But we got to be forthcoming and honest. And being forthcoming and honest is never disrespectful. Being honest is kind. Being direct is kind. Never forget that. Beating around the bush is bull crap. Our people want to know. They want to know where to get on at and where the hell to get off at. So I'm going to tell you this. My favorite book, Destruction of Black Civilization. I did my first lecture was titled The Destruction of Black Civilization. That's how I came into the community, right? Make sure y'all like and subscribe, and big up to all the pseudo killers and the skeptics, community of skeptics. Big up to everybody that want to know the truth and are not afraid of science. Man, I'm the one for you. So the destruction of black civilization talks about a particular subject that sa.neter played that video the other day. So Saladin used the book, right? And Chancellor Williams talks about the Hyksos. So let me show you where it's out of date at. Conversation with Jabari. Jabari is still out of date on the subject. So let me upgrade everybody around here so we can get this clear and straight. All right. I see you, Queen Blossom, Grand Rising. Hit you with the Grand Rising. All right. So destruction of great issues in race, 4000 BCE. Let's see. Right here, page 84. He talks about the end of the 12th dynasty, 1786. Ended nearly 3.5 centuries of great leaders, right? He talks about 13th dynasty, mental pygmies sat on the throne, once occupied by giants, all right? He goes on to say this meant an increase in unrestricted flow of Asians into the country. A period of turmoil was also an opportune time for great armed invasions. Now, he talked about a great armed invasion. So what was that great armed invasions? You see, all the elders talk about how the first invasion of foreign people was the Hyksos. The Egyptian word was Hakakasut. All right? Why is this important? Because we'll use that to say, well, those invaders is an influx of foreigners into the country that took away from their blackness. Y'all know the daggone drill. But let's find out who the Hyksos was. I'm going to read this, right? I'm going to give you primary sources to show you why it's out of date. That will answer Brother Saladin and Pseudo Ashek. That'll take care of that. All right? He claims, I just get up here and say that I don't show. Come on, man. I'm lethal with this thing. So right here we talk about amongst these invaders were the Hyksos, the children of Israel. According to the historian Josephus, the invasion of Egypt in 1720 BCE was ruthless and aimed at nothing less than an extermination of the Egyptian people and their replacement by the Israelites. They did not succeed in this, but settled down to rule the country as the 13th and 16th dynasties and stayed on as powerful influence for over 400 years. Now, that 400 years, Hebrews claim, I'm talking about the African-American Hebrews who ain't really Hebrews, they playing, right? They claim that they was in Egypt for 400 years. There's no evidence to that. Jabari seems to think it is. I'm going to say this again. There is no evidence of any quote-unquote Hebrews being in damn Egypt until a later time period, Elephantine, right? Where those Jewish communities settled there. All right? To get that straight, I'm going to drop the link. I got you. Man, show some love. It's the morning time. Y'all want to see me here every morning. Y'all got to show some damn love, bro. You're just going to have to. Hold on. All right. Here we go. Let's get some sources that will finish this off, right? And why I'm saying. So one, he called them the Israelites, right? The Hyksos. Two, he called it an invasion, right? The children of Israel. My first video on YouTube was calling the Hyksos the children of Israel. It was wrong, right? But I got it from here. So at this point, let me show you why this work is out of date. All right? Then I'll play what Jabari said. He act like he didn't say it, but he said it. Then he act like he didn't say it, but he said it, but he didn't say it, but he did. Yeah, so, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna call you out, more wisdom. You never hit the panel. You tripping. And don't use my words. Now, Chancellor Williams, my favorite writer, all right? Favorite person, favorite historian, he told me to study European history first. Go to the museums in Europe first. That's where all the African artifacts are. He also said he didn't know why the hell he was a Christian. He said all that. He clued me in. So let's get you some work. Get you some homework, right? First of all, I got the archaeological surveys. This is germane. This is key, right? For understanding any situation we're dealing with African history. And yes, the Nile Valley inhabitants are indigenous Africans. Because that's what the homework says. So let me get right here. All right. I want to start off. I'm not even going to go wiki. I'm going to go straight to the Journal of Science. I'm going to go to Journal of Science. I'm going to go to PLOS, right? And I'm going to go to the museum. Let's start off at the museum first. Start off here, right? The Smithsonian Magazine. So we go into the Museum of Smithsonian. It said the research reveals surprising origins of the Egyptian Hyksos dynasties. An analysis of the ancient tooth enamel suggests enigmatic ancients were immigrants, not invaders. So first of all, we see that the Smithsonian is not agreeing with the Hyksos being invaders. You're seeing that the Smithsonian is not agreeing with Jabari and them being invaders, and not only invaders, but being Israelites. First source. Second source. The invasion of the ancient Egypt may have actually been immigrant uprising. So people that had migrated in over hundreds of years that was living in the Delta, right? These inhabitants, sometimes they lived as Egyptians and sometimes they didn't, but they was not an invading force. Right? Let's get right here real fast. Because we cook them in hot grease. It's a ancient Egypt first foreign takeover may actually have been an inside job. About 3,600 years ago, the pharaohs briefly lost control of the northern Egypt to the Hyksos. Remember that word, the Hyksos or Hyksos, right? It's a rulers who looked and behaved like people from an area stretching from present-day Syria in the north to Israel in the south. It said the traditional explanation is that the Hyksos were an invading force, but a fresh analysis of the skeletons from the ancient Hyksos capital, that be Dabar or obvious, right? The Hyksos capital suggests an alternative. The Hyksos were Egyptian-born members of an immigrant community that rose up and grabbed the power. Right. Up-to-date homework. Right. You got to have the up-to-date homework. That's in 2020. See the date? July 2020. All right. July 15, 2020 is up-to-date work. Chancellor Williams' work was written in, drum roll, well, this copy I got was reprinted in 1987, but I'm sure the work was produced in the 70s. All right, Chicago Press. How long ago was that? 40 years ago? How long ago is this? This is 6 years ago. Let's move on to the next source to collaborate my findings. All right, we come here to PLOS. I suggest y'all all get this. PLOS. Now, screenshot it. Who are the Hyksos? Challenging traditional narrative using stratum isotopes analysis of the human remains from ancient Egypt. All right, let's get straight to the conclusion. You got your abstract there, right? You got your results, you got your discussion, and you got your conclusion. All right, this is how we read scientific articles, right? You get into all the data, y'all gonna mess it all up for sure. All right, and I'm gonna drop that link. All right. Conclusion. Isotope analysis is a powerful tool for exploring past mobility and identifying non-locals. However, exploring the origin of the non-locals using the method is much more difficult. It's a wide range of values of Tel Dabar, that's the capital, assemblages suggest that non-locals either before or during the Hyksos rule did not come from a unified homeland, but an extensive variety of origins. Say this is in itself is interesting, as although those who would become Hyksos rulers might have an ancestral connection to a single homeland in northeastern Delta and represented by multicultural hub long before the Hyksos ruled, utilizing extensive burial areas to contribute one of the largest isotope studies of ancient Egypt to date. It says this study is the first to use archaeological chemistry to directly address the origins of the enigmatic Hyksos dynasty. The first instance is in which Egypt is ruled by those of foreign origin, although the Levantian origin of these rulers is not in question due to the rulers' names, architecture, and material culture. These results challenge the classical narrative of the Hyksos as an invading force. Instead, this research supports the theory that the Hyksos rulers were not from a unified place of origin, but Western Asiatics whose ancestors moved into and during the Middle Kingdom, lived there for centuries, and then arose to rule northern Egypt. Basically, these immigrants, right, or the people that was living in the Delta, they actually took foreign wives. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that where they actually took foreign wives. Let me see. Maybe it's right here real quick, and we're going to move on. Right here. It say this is consistent. It's the abstract. This is consistent with the position that while the ruling class or Near Eastern origins, the Hyksos rise to power was not the result of an invasion, as popular theorized, but as an internal dominance and takeover of foreign elite. Remember I said the Hyksos wasn't the people? I'm gonna play the clip, right? An invasion says as popular theorized, but an initial dominance and take my fault. They say there is a preponderance of non-local females. Woo! Mess with the foreign women. The magicians love them foreign women. It say there's a preponderance of non-local females, suggesting patrilocal residents. It's meaning people that live there already and they taking foreign wives. It says, we discussed the findings against the current evidence of material culture and historiography, but more investigation of Near Eastern comparative sites has to be conducted to narrow the future search for actual origins of the Hyksos. Let me show you a map here. See if I can get the map up for y'all, make it a little bit bigger for you. All right, here you go. Tel El Daba, or Arius. All right, it's the Delta. There you go. All right, so y'all can see that. Yep, Hyksos, foreign chieftains. They also applied that term to the Nubians, right? That was in the conversation with Jabari. Make sure y'all watch that video the sa.neter dropped 2 days ago with me and Jabari going back and forth. He double talked. All right? I clearly said that the Hyksos are not the Israelites, like Chancellor Williams said. Now we realize that they not. That they was already living there, right? And some chieftains came in and caused an uprising, which are called the Hyksos or the Hyksos or the Hyksos. However you want to say it. Jabari made a big deal out of the way I was saying it, whatever. All right. I also present to you an archaeological survey on the said subject matter. Very, very important. Archaeological surveys are very, very important. See, the Hyksos, the new historical analysis and perspective, new historical and archaeological perspectives. This is at a scientific conference. The same conference, the same type of conference that Shikant Diaz was at, called the Cairo Symposium. You do not pick winners and losers like the whole community was suggesting. Crazy work right there. We keep this thing moving. Drop the Cash App, show some love, man. Y'all guys show some love, man. Y'all want me here every morning breaking down these difficult topics, right? All right. So I'm going to come to page. When I say archaeological survey, right, I'm talking about, so you can see the pottery. There's some of the pottery and stuff, right, where they found it at. All right. The material culture. When I say material culture, the material that will help identify people, right? Maps, dates, strata, right? Grave sites, bones. They even got grave sites of horses. All right. All this is important, yo. Let's see. Bones, teeth. Remember we talked about the teeth? Well, here you go. There's pictures of it. There's pictures of the bone and pictures of the teeth. You'll find this all in archaeological surveys. This is essential in getting information, as opposed to relying on this. Doesn't mean this man was trash. What it says is it's outdated work. Because now they had the archaeological surveys, the archaeological digs. This is where we learn our history from. And so future writers will write material off of this because this is what the educated world does. They do not stay shrouded in old information. You know what, more wisdom? Keep talking crazy because you have no heart. I don't mind you talking crazy, but what you gotta have is heart. You don't got no heart, bro. You talk that chatty in the patty. See? You in the chat, you always talking trash. I'm gonna make you famous. Hit that damn link. But you're not. You just want to stay right there with the fake name more. Big up to Saladin. He broke down the whole more thing. Go to his channel, right? Went to his channel. I watched the whole complete lecture. Y'all gonna be mad at him. Great lecture. Some things in there that I would tweak, right? But for the most part, solid. All right? And you know I don't say that. Not less it's solid. Yeah. Them haters still watch though, but they ain't got no heart though. That's what they don't have. They don't have the heart. All right. So, based off a new archaeological survey, based off of 3 sources from primary, Journal of Science, PLOS, Scientific Journal, and Smithsonian Museum, clearly shows why I made this statement that the work of Chancellor Williams was out of date. I just picked one part. I ain't gonna pick, y'all keep talking, I'll pick the whole thing apart to show you how it's no longer relevant for what we're doing moving forward. It's just not, but it's a pillar in our community. It's okay, but you gotta slide it over to the side. If you wanna compete and get in your story and your history, you gotta stay up to date. So I'll go back into the archaeological survey. I'm gonna make some points and I'm gonna play that video. So I'll make the point of who the Hyksos was. I said the Hyksos was not a people, right? Yeah, you don't got no big heart because you don't get on panels. You stand there chatty in the patty. That's why we call you chatty in the patty. And I'm not gonna mention you no more after I finish saying what I'm saying. You're chatty in the patty and you have no heart. You can't express yourself through your words, so you like a little guy hiding or a little woman, I don't know who you is, hiding behind the computer. Type. Can't refute nothing I'm saying. I done bought 5 sources, solid work. You think you can do better than that? Of course you can. You're going to talk that talk. What you can't do is walk that walk. And that's what I don't like. I don't mind people having a diverse opinion. I think that's important. What I don't like is people talking that talk and not walking that walk. No sources, all outdated work, standing on the shoulders of elders that has fell apart. My fault, staring in the face of elders that just got it wrong. It's crap. Should be standing on their shoulders, carrying something forward. That's what you should be doing. But nope, you want to fake like we Moors, play that pseudo game, right? Big up to Saladin because he showed why that was there, how the Europeans actually applied that to us. But you, because of your name is pseudo more wisdom. You ain't got no damn wisdom. You're a pseudo. Let me finish, y'all. Yeah, all right. No, you supposed to support the knowledge is what you should do. And you very well may be a sa.neter supporter, but you over here talking reckless about me. Now, how about that? So you don't never got to show up to what I'm doing because you're a hater, because you don't got no heart. Now, if you was the person to talk that talk in the chat and then got up here and we had a great conversation, then I would not be mad at you. Right now, you're like a thorn that I'm going to pick out and I'm no longer talking to you. I don't want to hear that. So we right here. All right. It says, first of all, Josephus got it wrong. I want to get that straight. Flavius, Josephus. Okay. It seems, however, hold on. It goes on to say Canaanites, the Asiatics in Egypt and Canaan were traditionally labeled as Amu. Now, Hyksos. All right. It say, although interpretations of the term Hyksos includes wretched Asiatic settlers in the Delta during the 12th century dynasties, it says the people or rulers of the 15th dynasty seem, however, that the designation does not refer, watch this, to a people or a specific ethnic group as assumed by Josephus Flavius, but rather was applied exclusively to rulers of Asiatic dynasties who bear the title ruler of foreign lands. In other words, it is a term describing political status applied to rulers and not to their subjects in the Delta. The whole time going back and forth with Jabari, he's saying it applies to a people. I say, no, bro, it's rulership. And he made fun of the way I said it to take away from the fact that he was actually wrong. I'm going to play the clips because he clipped that. Remember, I read this from the archaeological survey from the scientific conference, where you got different authors that bring their material. And I just gave you 4 sources: Smithsonian, the archaeological survey, scientific conference, journal of Nature, and PLOS. Scientific journals, museum, and scientific conference. And they saying what I was saying. See, they always talk that talk. When it comes to source up, they can't walk that walk. And the only thing they got to stand on is Chancellor Williams, and that's why you get beat up. That go for everybody that won't upgrade their thing. If you don't upgrade your thing, you're going to become the thing getting beat up. And it's not my fault. So let's keep moving. All right. Let's keep moving. All right, so we got that there. Bet. Also, I made a statement that the term Hyksos was applied to Nubians. Let's see. In the same book, it clearly makes, it goes to actual text. I'm going to tell you the text. Man, did it fall out there? God damn it. Hold on. Text from the period. Go to the actual Egyptians themselves, what everybody claim they be doing. So I'm coming to page 19 on the book, right? The actual text itself. Examples for the use of the term Hyksos. I'll give you the examples. All right. If I go to Seth, right? He's the author. All right. He says on page 134, the Nubian chiefs. That's the temple of Pepe. All right. Look at the temple of Pepe. He gives you 2 examples of Nubian chiefs, right? If you go to Seth again, whom reported the tribute of the Magi, that is the laborer taxes of the foreign chieftains, the Middle Kingdom, referring to the Nubians, Hyksos. So that term right there is applied, right, to Nubians because Egyptians felt like they was foreigners to them. That'll help up your game a little bit. I'm gonna say it again. The Egyptians felt like the Nubians was foreigners, and that's why at times they showed them dark in color because they was trying to show the otherness. They wasn't even trying to reflect their skin color like most people think they was. Because we can look at we can pull up a stele of the Nubians ranging in skin color. That's what y'all don't want to hear. That y'all want to make everybody so daggone jet black that they would block, that they just be jet black. If they ain't jet black, then they must not be Egyptians. First of all, y'all hadn't even read the work that clearly show you that skin color actually had nothing to do with who or who was not an Egyptian. It had something to do with the God you believed in and whether you spoke the Egyptian language or not. And that will actually come from, let me see if I got that real quick. That would actually come from, let me see. I think I got a book I think all y'all should read from Cambridge. Let me see. Do I got the Cambridge work right here, right? Race and Ethnicity in the Lands of the Pharaohs. I believe that is the title of the work. Yes. Ethnic Identities in the Land of the Pharaohs. Bam. Not a thick book. It talks about who the Egyptians was. Let me drop the daggone thing. Man, show some love in here, man. Let me drop this, man. All right. All right, I dropped that. All right. Let me share the screen. And let's see what Jabari got to say about all this. Let me see where we at.
That's not what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But for Ankh to put the onus of this discussion as to whether the ancient Kemetic people were black on the Afrocentric scholars is disingenuous, because the only reason why we're even having this conversation is because millions of dollars and hundreds of years were spent by Western scholars saying that they weren't black.
Yeah.
And so that was what they attempted to do.
So y'all do know that based off of John Henry Clark, race is a social construct. And the one-drop rule produced in Europe and race itself produced in Europe is actually pseudoscientific. So at what point could you use pseudoscientific ideas to prove your point? You wouldn't be able to because it's pseudoscientific. It would actually make no sense at all. It just wouldn't. What's up, King J? Let me finish playing this video real quick. Let me move it up a little bit. I'm going to get you to Hyksos.
When we respond,
But this last round, Doug, yo, you talked me to death, yo. I didn't even jump in, yo. I didn't actually jump in. Now, here's what he's doing.
even sa.neter is our house.
I started.
He knows that he's been interrupting the whole time.
So are you not interrupting now?
Go ahead, brother.
Thank you. And I want you talk for 10 minutes. I want my 10.
I don't know. You didn't do no time. he must think I had never seen the 3-card Monty on 125th Street. Like I was developing. We're talking about something that occurs mostly in the first century of the Common Era, right? And the Kemetic tradition is much older than that. But when you look at the major archetypes and the major threads,
because it's got a burial chamber.
I'm taking a group to South Africa as well. I don't know what
it's a burial
chamber. A tour to South Africa as well. Well-read person that has areas of expertise.
And I'm saying expert. Listen, there is some, yes, they do get aspects of it, but not all of it don't come.
The majority of it come out of
Middle Eastern. There is some, yes. I mean, you got
many times.
But even that
he changes the goalpost. Because
I think at this point we start talking about who the Hebrews was, where they get their religion from. Man, they got a Middle Eastern tradition. They do not have an African tradition. Most of what makes Hebrews is their close proximity to Middle Eastern people in Western Asia, right? And most times y'all don't even take into account the time periods when the Hebrews are supposed to be around. Right? And if we talked about Christianity, look at the time periods, right? It'll be a double talk thing going. When you claim the origin of Christianity is actually in Egypt. But that's during the foreign occupations, foreign rule. During the Greek periods, Ptolemies. What's the date on Christianity? Right? What's the date on the Hebrews? New Kingdom? Maybe? Right, with the oldest Hebrew text is 600 BCE. The Nubians is already pushed out at that time. The Assyrians is in power. So they had time to put together hope. So, I mean, we not even looking. All right, but let me finish this and I'm going to get to you, King J. All right, how you doing, brother?
All is well, family.
All right, let me get this going. 1 second. Let me just push this, and let's see what Jabari got to say.
Because I'm allowing him to have areas that he says that he's an expert in. I don't know if I agree.
I'm not an expert. Listen,
Well,
sa.neter.
he just said it's his area.
So
I just would like if you say it's your area.
This thing audience. When the man asked me some wild ass comedic fact, I said, I don't know. I admitted it, didn't I? Mm-hmm. He can't do that. That's the difference.
The difference is,
he won't tell you one thing about
the difference is,
I bet
he has actually come here and challenged me on comedic history several times.
You got me,
not just today, many times.
You got me.
Many times.
But even that,
he changes the goalposts. He acts like he knows stuff he doesn't know. The last conversation, he said, "I know as much as you do." He was really upset.
No,
he literally said he knows as much as I do. And the point is this. Wait, the point is this. I don't veer into his lane, but he doesn't have the general respect for my knowledge.
Look, me,
so that's what he does.
We right here.
So yeah, sure. Y'all could be there. I'm fine.
No,
that don't mean nothing to me.
You feel that Christianity is
no. It is part. No. There is some. Yes, they do get aspects of it, but not all of it. Don't
the
come.
majority of it come out of.
I would actually say that because first of all, it comes out of Christianity is the Jewish sect. So it comes out of Judaism.
No. Where do Judaism come out of? Huh?
Okay, Judaism come out of Middle Eastern traditions, Western Asia.
Well.
Hold on, Western Asian traditions, and quote unquote ancient indigenous African practice.
Yeah, man, that's real. You can just look at all the areas and the areas that they're talking about, right? Or Chaldees, all that. All those areas, man. I don't know why we need to. Y'all get that from the age of enlightenment from Europeans back in the day. The same people that y'all call racist, right? They wrote all them books on that. They the ones that said Egypt was the mother of all religions. Y'all didn't do no real studying on that. I beat y'all up. So I'm not saying that it don't have pieces of Nile Valley culture in it because it does. But at a certain point, you got to realize where the hell they living at. Them people got religions too. That's the conscious community mumbo jumbo right there. And I'm telling you that, right? That's why a lot of the works are outdated. Okay?
Practices. So it's a periphery of things. It's never in Kemet.
You mentioned Judaism.
Who was never in Kemet?
The Hebrews.
They were never in Kemet?
Nah, you know that.
That's not true.
Oh, right.
They were certainly in Kemet.
What is wrong with y'all?
They were certainly in
They
Kemet.
was there.
I mean, if you go to the Elephantine site, you're going to see extensive Hebrew. You're going to see Hebrew temple.
That's a late site. No, I'm talking about when they wrote the text, claiming they was in Egypt and Moses and them. I'm talking about what's Moses, 1300 BCE.
I'm not arguing that Moses is a literal historical
I'm saying
character,
Moses never,
or that there was an Exodus. I've never argued that.
No, I'm saying they was not there. I'm saying there's no evidence to prove they was there during the time. The time period you're talking about Elephantine. Yes, they was there. I agree. There's a Jewish community in Elephantine.
Well, the period that they would say that occurred in, if you look at Josephus, is he would argue that is the period when the Hyksos came into Kemet.
So see, I already beat up Josephus and how he was wrong, and I gave y'all 4 solid sources. Let me run it back again. Oh, let me finish. Let me talk a little bit more.
Josephus is the person that makes that argument.
He made that up.
Well,
the Hyksos ain't
so that if you,
so you're saying Hyksos are the Hebrews?
The Hyksos are probably the proto-Hebrews.
So listen, now he's out.
What?
All right, here we go. Prove my point right here. Boom. New research 2020 reveals surprising origin of the Hyksos dynasties. Boom. All right. Move right here to the next source. Boom. Invasion of ancient Egypt may have actually been an immigrant uprising. Boom. And I read it to you. All right. Go back and look at the tape. All right. Boom. The next source. Plus. Boom. The map. Let me get that off the screen. All right. Boom. Who are the Hyksos? Challenging traditional narratives using stratum isotopes analysis of human remains from ancient Egypt. All right. There you go. Nobody should be saying what Jabari is saying. I'm going to say it again. Nobody should be saying what Jabari is saying in our community. Simple as that. That was in 2020. This interview was last year. I shouldn't have to fight that. It should be clear. The only person that said Josephus was Chancellor Williams. Now, he's not the only person that said it, but I'm saying this is where most of y'all got it from. All right? Right here, Josephus. Let me read that again so we don't get confused and get in the muck and mire and act like I'm making something up, because I'm actually not. I'm upgrading where we supposed to upgrade at. Page 84. Let me see. Let me go to page 84 real quick. 84. Right here. Amongst these invaders were the Hyksos, the children of Israel, according to who? Historian Josephus. This is in Chancellor Williams' work. All right, the invaders of Egypt. All right, let's keep going.
What ends up happening, he did not let me finish.
Go ahead. Let me sit back.
So
you know, it's my first video ever.
We don't see, for example, those people who come into Kemet as the Hyksos, as a Hyksos. We don't see them come in with, for example, the Torah or any of those aspects of society that we would clearly say is Judaic. We don't see those things. But there are some that argue that there must have been some memory of people from that region being there, and that memory is where they created.
So now we know they was actually immigrants, and they took on foreign wives. You know what an immigrant is? An immigrant is, Mexicans will be considered an immigrant, meaning they've been living in that country, man. They didn't come from a foreign place, but the Hyksos did. The rulership did. See the difference? Changed the whole picture of the story.
A completely fabricated story of an Exodus.
So then I'm right then.
So in many ways, I don't see how he's saying that. But what we have to recognize is that when we try to understand what the Hebrew presence in Kemet, clearly we can acknowledge that Josephus at least argues that the Hyksos are that they are the Hyksos, and he's not the only one, but obviously he's one of the most important Hebrew or Jewish scholars, historians.
I would disagree with you.
You would disagree that he's the most important?
He was wrong. Absolutely wrong.
I think he's wrong about a lot of things.
Okay, he was wrong about that. I'm saying you got the Shashu Bedouin, you got the Aspul, you got the Harabu, you got the Amorites. These are all Asiatic tribes. It's documented on the walls that was it. You don't got no Hebrews. So no. Now,
but why are you saying there are no Hebrews? How would you make that designation?
There's no Israelites. There's no Hebrews in Kemet at the time period at 1700 BCE or 1200 BCE. They're not there, bro. No Israelites, no kingdom, none of that.
Notice that I said to him.
Let me finish my point. And so the Hyksos aren't them neither. The Hyksos are actually some of them. Foreign chieftain, that's actually the name. They also named the Nubians foreign chieftains. So that name is also applied to the Nubians. And
they never called the Nubians Hyksos.
Yes, they did.
Though.
Yes, they did.
They called the Nubians Hyksos?
Yes, they did. It simply means foreign chieftain. Yes, they did. Yes, chieftain. So that name is also applied to the Nubians. And
they never called the Nubians Hyksos.
Yes, they did. Foreign chieftain. So that name is also applied to the Nubians. And
they never called the Nubians.
Stop it right here,
right there. All right, go ahead.
So you gotta listen to what he's saying. They called the Nubians Hyksos. They didn't. So what? So was the term? So the term Hekakasu, right? You said it. It's a title, right? So a title is not a title that's going to be applied to the whole population of people. It's a title that's going to be applied to a specific person within that group, right? He's going to be the Hekakasu of that particular of the Nehesi group. So like when you show the Beni Hassan mural, that's a good example of it's not labeling that whole people group who are coming in to bring in the dye to trade. It's not naming the whole people group Hekakasu.
Of course not. I said that, remember?
Exactly. It's naming Abisha the Hekakasu. Abisha is the leader of the group of that tribe that's bringing them in. If you notice, his name is spelled Abisha. And then we see the title that he is given is Hekakasu.
Absolutely.
So, and it's the same that we be applied with the Nehesi groups. Whatever particular chieftain of that group would have that title of Hekakasu. So he's being specific when he's saying the word Hekakasu is not right. The Nubians weren't called Hekakasu, but that is a title that is applied to the chieftains of their group. Yes.
Yeah. So you think I'm saying he's saying it wasn't never applied to nothing dealing with Nubians. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, no. Any foreign chieftain.
That's
any foreign chieftain.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So let's go back and make sure for clarity. All right. Let's go back a little bit. I said, watch what I say. Here you go.
How would you make that designation?
There's no Israelites. There's no Hebrews in Kemet. At the time period, at 1700 BCE or 1200 BCE, they're not there, bro. No Israelites, no kingdom, none of that.
Notice that I said to him.
Let me finish my point. And so the Hyksos aren't them neither. The Hyksos are actually some of them. Foreign chieftains, that's actually the name. They also named the Nubians foreign chieftains. So that name is also applied to the Nubians. And
they never called the Nubians Hyksos,
yes, they did.
though.
Yes, they did.
They called the Nubians Hyksos?
Yes, they did. It simply means foreign chieftain.
Where?
No,
Where did you see it?
Listen, the word simply means foreign chieftain.
But they never used the term Hyksos for the Nubians.
Of course they did. And my point I want to make is, but you the guys supposed to know all that.
I would love for you to give me a source.
So now you don't know that about Egyptian history.
I would love for you to give me a source. He's wrong.
So we got pinnacle point.
So what you think? We talking about the chieftains. So I'm really saying this applies to chieftains. You think he misheard me?
Yeah. I think he was trying to say that you were saying that
the Nubians, but I never was saying. I said the name itself is never applied to.
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, I think he caught it. I think he knew what you was trying to say, but he's making. You know what I'm saying? You have to say it exact. When you're dealing with him, just like if we were dealing with in science and we tried to say something and didn't know the term correctly, you probably would stand on that a little bit.
I agree. Let's keep going.
That's wrong.
We got we talking Egyptian history right now.
Pinnacle point?
No. Pinnacle point is on South Africa. He ran out of that. Now we got a time period, okay, when we talk about the Hyksos, okay? That's part of Egyptian
Why does he keep saying the word so incorrectly?
You want to say Hekakasu? How you want to say it? I mean, how you define? Okay, the point.
Well, it is Hekakasu. What is he? Man, it's just too much sometimes.
Well, because you're using it as an ethnonym at this point.
All right, let's go.
The point being is he doesn't know. So it's okay, Jabari.
I don't know what.
I got you.
I don't know what.
Jabari.
What don't I know?
You just showboated 30 minutes ago on how much I didn't know.
What don't
now
I
got
know?
you there. You don't know who Josephus. Nobody says that anymore.
Nobody
That's
says
way
what?
out. Josephus and the Hyksos and all that nonsense. Hyksos. I can say it the way I need to say it. Hyksos. The point is, Josephus was wrong, right? The Hyksos ain't even dealing with a tribe of people.
What do you mean they're not dealing with a tribe of people?
It's not. The name itself does not lend to a tribe. It's not a people. It's foreign chieftains. But I thought you knew Egyptian history.
No, I'm trying to understand the argument you're making.
The word Hyksos does not apply to a people.
Hyksos
does not apply to a group. So you're going to make funny way I'm pronouncing it, but you're not going to deal with the information.
The reality is
now answer the question. Does it reply to it? Hold on. Does the name apply to a group of people or to what I said?
It responds to
you got your chance.
A group of people who come
no, it does
into
not.
Kemet.
It does not.
Now, is that as clearly defined as some would like for it to be? No. And by the way, notice I said that they may be the proto-Hebrews because we don't see.
Yeah, so all that's wrong though. All that's wrong, King J. You get it? Like it's not applied to the people, it's the rulership. Like I'm clearly saying what the word is applied to right there.
Yeah, you're using it when you're asked to define it. You're using it in the correct manner. But a lot of people do that as far as like saying Hyksos and just thinking that because Hekakasu and Hyksos is you can if you say Hekakasu, in my mind I automatically hear a chieftain, a foreign. You say Hyksos, a lot of people apply it to like a ethnicity. You know what I'm saying, or like a group of people.
Yeah, but that ain't never been the case, though. That's wrong. I'm saying we got that from Chancellor Williams and them. Cassandra is the only one that really talked about that.
So let's maybe on this panel we could identify it. So if we know that they're just so my argument is that the Hyksos are the elite ruling group of a specific class of people.
Agree.
It identifies them in the Beni Hassan mural. I always go back to the Beni Hassan. The Amu. Is the Amu. So it would be the Hyksos is the ruling class of the Amu. Who are the Amu? So if you go look in the Akkadian language, it'll say Amoru. If you go to the Sumerian, it'll say Martu, land of West Emirate. Westerners, the land of the Westerners. So that's what and that's the area of the Levant. Right.
So watch this. Actually, those people that the Hyksos was ruling was actually immigrants and had been living in the Nile.
Yes, because it's like two different. I think it's like three waves. I like to say the three different waves of Amorite expansion coming from actually Mesopotamia into the Levant. So the first wave is the Amoru phase, and then the second phase. That phase is about 1800 BC when we see the Beni Hassan. I mean, actually, it's about 2300 BC to about 1800 BC, and then about 1400 BC, we see a Canaanite phase, right? And then we see another phase later than that. I actually like to tie it to the 4.2 kilo year event. A lot of people don't know what that is, but that caused a lot of migration every 4,000 years. But yeah, I like so my thesis is this: that those proto Hebrews, because I like to call them Semitic speakers. I think Semitic speakers
because you got Amorites. You just named it, the Amorites.
Yeah,
you got the Sharshu Bedouin, right? So you got Amorites, Sharshu Bedouin. Then you got the Harabu. They look at the Harabu as being criminals.
We'll see terms like Habaru and Abaru are just used to describe nomadic. Yeah, they're semi-nomadic tribes. They're coming into, and they're all Amorite tribes. All these are Amorite tribes, and they're just coming into the city. They're described as people who don't
follow laws,
bury their dead, right? They don't cook their meat. You know what I'm saying?
Got a whole book on Amorite. Interesting.
And so these are the people that they're talking about. These are the Amaru. You know what I'm saying? And they're just.
All right, let me see.
See them come in with the markers of the Jewish religion at all. So it seems that they came in before they had those things.
Nope.
Right?
I'm saying you just got that wrong.
And there are so we should also understand that when the Hyksos, the Hyksos are actually expelled from Kemet, where are they expelled to?
So, some of them go to where the Minoans are.
What?
Greek, amongst the Greeks, the Minoans. They got fresco with them. Yes.
No, that fresco was while they were in Kemet.
No, they got some frescoes where they
from after Kemet?
Yeah, when they pushed them out.
He's wrong.
Okay,
well, he continually says things that are wrong.
No, I got you, bro. I got the archaeological survey on the Hyksos, however you want to pronounce it. You don't have that. You don't possess that.
How do you know?
I'm saying you do not.
How do you know?
Because
what was you saying?
They go back to they go back to Palestine.
Yep, and some of them end up on the Minoan Islands.
Probably so.
Yep, because they got the fresco, and people mess it up. I got it right here, right? And people think based off the color of their skin, right? These Mediterranean. Let me see.
So what you're doing actually right there is you're kind of associated, because this is like when the sea peoples are. This is going to be like a 1200 BC type of a date where we see the Phoenicians. This is that time period, right? We're talking.
I mean, the sea people were serious, yo. They disrupted the whole international trade. They defeated the who am I talking about? What group? Here go the fresco, right? Let me show y'all a picture of the fresco right here. Yeah, y'all can look at this and not even really get it. Hold on. Mediterranean, Egypt, Submarine, the Papus, Minoans, Thebes, date,
No,
archaeological context, date of the frescoes from Tel Daba. All right. So y'all definitely make this mistake right here. Y'all see this?
you said Minoans.
Yeah, that's a fresco. How they was looking. Look, see,
Minoans wouldn't apply to this time period.
see, they was trading with them. They was definitely trading with them.
Minoans don't exist in the time of the Hyksos.
It's
Minoans,
right here. Look, let me
they
read
don't
it.
exist. You
Let
got
me.
to realize. Minoans. So after the Minoans, we have the Mycenaeans.
No, the
So
Minoan frescoes. Listen. Minoan
you understand?
frescoes. Themes, date, and parallels. To the east, the platform above, guardians of the Hyksos, the period with which probably still in use in the 18th dynasty,
Mhm.
finds were made that shed much light on the function of the platform fortresses. In addition to archaeological fragments and the fragments of the earliest glass vessels found in Egypt, to date, thousands of broken fragments of the time plaster, which had once adorned the mud brick walls, were found. Hold on, let me see. Were found. It say these plaster fragments were decorated with Minoan wall paintings,
Okay.
executed by Minoan artists. Yeah,
Okay.
y'all was right. Look, there you
Yeah,
go.
that's not saying that during that time period there was Minoan in the 18th dynasty. They may have.
I mean,
They,
I'm saying that was part of the trading network with the Minoan.
well, there's no Minoans in existence during the time
Got it
period.
right here, yo. I got Beck. B
This
I
might be a pseudo source
K.
because
This ain't no
even
that.
so,
Look at this. Bro. This is
because
all
you got to remember, the
not a pseudo source. Look at this, bro.
Minoans,
Yeah, I'm saying it right. Minoan. Minoan.
as and then after Minoans we have Mycenaeans, and
I
then
don't know about all that. I'm talking about right here. This not no pseudo source. Yo, do you know what this is, yo? Look it up.
that information in that is not. There is no Minoans in the 18th dynasty of
What you mean? What are you saying? What are you saying? I'm saying that
that the island of Crete was destroyed and that civilization disappeared. There was no such thing as Minoans after they were destroyed.
I don't know about all that.
After that, we have Mycenaeans, which are archaic
No,
Greek, and they list about
agree.
1450 BC, and we have the linear A, linear B tablets.
I did.
We
It
have
says
that,
plaster
but
fragments were decorated with Minoan wall paintings. It's a executed by Minoan artists. It's a scenes of bull leaping. It's a
Mhm.
bull wrestling. Abbots. It says, what is this? Feline hunting, fallow deer, and mountain goats, and ritual depictions of priests are represented amongst the fragments. The iconography, with its emphasis on the hierarchy of nature, appears to embody the ideology of the Minoan elite, as it is known to us from the center of Minoan culture, especially kenosis. It's saying also from the Minoan periphery at places like Thera and Kir. You know the Thera Mountains,
yeah,
the volcano. It say the combination of the bull leaping scene and patterns of maze points directly by the palace of Kenosis, where such motifs have otherwise exclusively been found. However, not in combination. Moreover, the half rosette which is triple graphic frieze found in connection with the depiction of the bull leaping. Let me see if I got a picture of the bull leaping.
So,
Yeah,
so, you are familiar with Mount Santorini and the eruption of Mount Thera, right? That super
yeah,
volcanic. Okay,
yeah.
that's the volcanic eruption that destroyed the Minoans.
No, you got to have the relationship between Egypt and the Aegean in the early 18th dynasty,
Yeah,
yo.
so I'm saying I'm not saying that while they existed, that the Minoans didn't create that fresco or have some, there.
No, no, they found it in the archaeological dig in Taldaba. That's how they know they was trading. They was trading olive oil and stuff like that with them.
Yeah, but not that time period, right? So I'm suggesting that when the volcano erupted, Mount Santorini erupted, it destroyed the Mycenaeans and Minoans. I keep saying Mycenaeans, Minoans, and that happens about like 1700 BC. We don't have no Minoans until after 1700 BC.
I don't know, bro. Obviously they did.
You gotta. I mean, you know history enough, and then so after we have the Minoans are destroyed. So that's what I'm saying. That source, it
No,
probably
what? No, it's serious work. Though. This ain't just no.
it might be wrong.
It's not wrong.
I study too. I'm just letting you know that Minoans. If you're suggesting, listen. I'm just letting you listen. Hold on, listen. I'm just letting you know if you're suggesting to any like serious historian, right, and saying that Minoans lived in 18th dynasty Egypt, they'll laugh at you, brother. Out there, like it's not. You're not going to be taken serious. So I just want you to know that.
See, now you got my antennas up. Okay. Archaeological context and date of the frescoes from Tel Dabra. The frescoes from Tel Dabra were found below in and above strategic housing belonging to the first half of the 18th dynasty. Yeah, I think you tripping. Let me put this in chat.
You're talking about archaeology, I think I'm talking about the people.
Hold on.
The archaeology lived on after the people died. That's fine. But I'm saying that
I don't know what you're saying. We might be saying something different. I don't know what you think you're saying. I'm saying that this Minoan fragments is found in Tel Dabra, is what I'm saying.
We have Minoan frescoes and we have things that have survived after their destruction. They didn't live.
Go get a source and say that. See now
Minoans?
Time for you to source up.
I thought it was common knowledge. I thought it was common knowledge that Minoan destruction.
No, don't do it. You can't do it. You messed up the conversation now.
I thought it was common knowledge.
Yeah, it's common knowledge to you. It's just like it was common knowledge to Jabari. Y'all all think the shit common to us not. Minoan frescoes. I'm just going to see this. Minoan frescoes. Hold on. At Tel. Hold on. Good. Let me put this right in the thing.
Frescoes exist. For sure.
No. Hold on, yeah. Don't backpedal now. Shoot.
No, the people didn't exist. Is my thing. Like there are no Minoans.
What do you think how you think it got there?
They made it before they made it 800 years before.
Oh man, stop it, yo. The Hyksos wasn't 800 years prior.
That's what I'm saying. It don't make sense what you're saying. That source you just read does not.
So you can agree I ain't saying it.
I'm saying that there are no Minoans in the 18th dynasty of Kemet.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they wasn't trading with the Egyptians. They was trading with the foreign chieftains.
No, they didn't even exist. So
you made that up, yo.
18th dynasty, Minoans? No, they got destroyed by the eruption.
Nah, you made that up.
Island of Crete. They went to Crete. I mean, we have Mycenaeans after that. After the Minoans are destroyed, we have the Mycenaean culture. They come with the linear B script A and B, and then they're archaic Greeks, so to speak. And then after that, that's all we really have. I mean, and they're long gone by the 18th dynasty. The Mycenaeans are before the Hyksos.
So you saying they didn't trade with them? So you saying this book is wild?
No, I'm saying they had trade with them, but I'm saying that
who they had trade with?
They had trade with the Aegean, the Aegean coast. They've always had trade with the Aegean back and forth. But you're to suggest that the Minoans culture or the Minoans people, lived during the 18th dynasty is diabolical.
We got to find out. He said diabolical.
It's diabolical.
Yo, I just showed you. So you saying they didn't dig this out the ground, yo?
I'm saying the archaeology lived.
No. Hey, dog. They dug this shit up, yo. In the area inhabited by the foreign chieftains, yo. You bugged out. I mean, you get that you just gotta know, yo. Come on, man.
Minoans?
Yeah, man. Come on, bro. Yeah, you get something mixed up, yo.
No, brother. I'm familiar with the Aegean culture. I'm familiar with
paintings from Tel Dabra are expressly valuable because they date to the period of the late Minoan 1A. It's a from which only very few frescoes are preserved at Knossos. Close ideographic similarities can be found. However, the paintings in Thera, which also date from LM1A period, the detailed rendering of the plums and griffins are particularly identical in style and color to Terra and Taldaba. Further, the representation of youths partly shaven heads, blue painting scalp looks of the hair found only of these two sites. Say the close similarities are most likely due to their near contemporaries in chronological times, which has been collaborated by repetitive presence of late cyprid white slips wares, right, in early 18th dynasty stratum at Tel Dabra, as well as the oldest fresco excavation at Thera. What are you talking about?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
What you mean? What time period we talking? Yeah, come on, bro. You wrong. You always halfway right.
Minoans, brother.
Yeah, yo, let me see right here. Come on, yo. Yes. It says yes. It says yes. The Hyksos probably participated in Eastern Mediterranean trade networks. Taldaba. Here you go. Look. Man, come on, yo. The Eastern Mediterranean trade networks, Arvis or Taldaba, was a major delta gateway connecting to Levant and Cypriot. Am I saying that right? Cypriot trade. It's the Taldaba excavation summary says that during the Hyksos period, most imports were Syrian Palestinian. Let me see, holding wine, olive oil, and Cyprus pottery increased strongly after 1650 BCE. It say, but the famous Minoan style frescoes at Tel Dabra, it say, are not the strongest proof that the Hyksos traded with the Minoans, because current scholarship usually place the frescoes in the early 18th dynasty. It say after Hyksos were expelled, especially in palaces dated by Thutmose Hatshepsut III. It say let me see, the Augustine Archaeological Institute states that the palaces at Peru and Taldaba were decorated with Minoan wall paintings and dates them to the first half of Thutmose III. Why scholars call the Minoan Aegean technique was frescoes wet lime plaster, which the Augustine Project says was unknown in Egypt until Thutmose III. Hold on. Let me get this. Somebody just popped up on the panel. Let me see where they at. All right, what's up, brother? What's up, Orlando? Carini. that's gonna be, yeah, your phone ain't gonna work, bro. Yeah, well, how many would you want me to just keep badging you, beating you down? It said Taldaba proves that Aries was deeply connected to the Eastern Mediterranean during the Hyksos period and the earliest trade evidence in the Levantian Cyprus imports in Minoan. The Minoan frescoes show strong Aegean contact. Most scholars now date them to the early 18th dynasty after the Hyksos, so they should not be used as simple proof the Hyksos trading directly to the Minoans. And either way, yo, this the source is Cambridge.
I think if you
Taldaba Aegean world.
I think if you changed it,
so they're not gone. Yeah, they can't be.
I think if you changed it to Mycenaean, I probably wouldn't have a problem with what you're saying, because I think to me the Mycenaean time period is the time period that correlates with the time period of what you're talking about. The
Hyksos beyond the dreams of our Taldaba and the Aegean world. Here you go, Cambridge. Excavations at Daba, right, have produced exciting finds in the last 30 years, but none were, let me see, more venerating than the so-called Minoan frescoes. Here you go, man. Of the past half decade. The publication of these fragmentary wall paintings has been comedy fast, but has also involved dramatic changes in hypothesis.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah, you're coming.
All I'm gonna say is look up. On the in and out. Look up Minoan, the late Minoan 3. They still existed. Just because the Mycenaeans took over don't mean Minoans didn't exist.
Right. But if we're not talking about that time period, we're not talking about. So if we're talking about the period when the Mycenaeans actually are there, so there are no Minoans. So he's using the fact that there are still frescoes. So the Mycenaeans didn't. It's still going to be all. It's all the same Aegean culture.
I brought another source, yo, from Cambridge, yo.
Look at Mycenaean. Look at Mycenaean. Actually, the Mycenaeans do trade with the Hyksos.
Minoan Frisco, they might have, yo.
They're not Minoan, so they can't be the. So history wise, the Minoans were destroyed by a volcano eruption called Mount Santorini, Mount Thera, right? Maybe a few of them didn't. Everybody didn't die, but that eruption caused that whole eruption caused the Aegean to be
Oh, man.
right.
It
So
could have been there a little bit early. You said it could have been
once the Minoans are gone, we have what we call the Mycenaeans, right?
there.
The Mycenaeans give us the linear bead and linear A tablet. These are the trade tablets. So that would suggest that if there were any trades going on, it probably would be with this Mycenaean group. The Egyptians, you could look up Keftui, right? It's not going to be Minoans, it's going to be Mycenaeans. So it just, I like it. Yeah, you just there wouldn't be no Mycenaean, there would be no Minoan trade with these Hyksos. It would have to be the Mycenaeans if you're making that argument, right? Because after
I read what I was making my conversation about.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
And to use you're basing it off of frescoes.
It's not a pseudo source, yo. It's a good source. So
Yeah, the frescoes exist, but I mean,
so you saying it could have existed prior to the Hyksos in that area on their temples? What you saying?
yeah, I'm saying that it did exist prior to. It's been there since the Minoan time period. But Minoans were destroyed. So during this Hyksos period, the archaic Greeks who they would have been dealing with from the Aegean would have probably been the Mycenaeans.
No, hold on. Relationship between Egypt, the Aegean, and the early 18th dynasty. So did not the 18th dynasty run out the Hyksos? Yet nowhere
they're concurrent. Yeah, they're concurrent.
And kenosis do we find the bull leaping maze pattern and a half Rosetta frieze. What kind of deals? Hold on, let me see about the trading. The Hyksos, let me see. This might explain why Akhmos needed a base in the northern delta and why he pursued the Hyksos to their strongholds in southern Canaan. Yet it is difficult to explain the presence of Minoan paintings in the Egyptian citadel of Arvius, which much more than merely indicating the beautification of the palace, display the themes. Let me see that are related to the Minoan ideology, statues, and religion. The working hypothesis is I have cautioned suggested that the dynastic marriage, which might explain the presence of the motifs. So they married him. It some seem to relate to the queenship in Minoan Creek. Even before the excavation of Taldaba, the relationship between the family of Akhmos and the Minoans, or at least the Aegean world, was obvious. And battle axe of Akhmos inlaid Nalo techniques. Shows the Aegean griffin and the contemporary inlaid dagger blade, displaying the lion chasing the calf and man. So we got most of them trading with him, and you got the Hyksos trading with him. What's so hard about that?
So I just read up on something real quick. So just when you get a chance, look up the ceramic shift from the Mycenaean ware culture, right? So you'll see that during the early 18th dynasty, they had substitute this period. They still had some of the luxury Minoan pot jewelry styles and stuff that were left over, right? By the time you get to the mid 18th dynasty, Amenhotep and Akhenaten's time period, we see the Minoan. It says Minoan pottery completely dries up. Instead, Egyptian sites are flooded with tens of thousands of vessels of Mycenaean stirrup jars and flags, specifically classified as late Helladic 3A. So I'm even suggesting, I would suggest even probably earlier than then that there are no Mycenaeans Period. You're talking about pottery, and
No, I'm
yeah,
not. No, I'm not. I'm talking about the frescoes on the walls, yo.
right. So they're
So
still there. So,
no. It's actually saying that the artisans were Minoan and they
they paint,
painted it.
they painted over them.
No, they painted they painted it themselves. The Hyksos not producing that.
Right. So what happens? What is that? I'm reading right here. The Mycenaean takeover of Crete, 1450 BC. The tomb was literally retouched. So all of the old Minoan paintings that were depicted, Minoans, they were painted over to reflect Mycenaeans. So what I'm suggesting to you is that there was a shift, a transitional shift in pottery and in everything. The Minoans been gone. The Minoans had been gone once that mountain erupted and destroyed them.
So you
After
know I'm talking about the citadel, right? I'm talking about the actual temple that was built.
the tomb of Meccan, was it Meccan?
No, it said the citadel of about let me see, was constructed during the late Hyksos period, bro, at the west edge of Arvias, just at the eastern bank, right, of Pelazak branch of the Nile, south of, let me see, deviation between the canals. They give you the exact location.
I know what I said.
Right. This is built, yo, and they painted the damn frescoes, so that didn't even make no sense. King J. It says that's a wall. It is logical that such strong systems of defense would not have been intended merely to protect. To protect gardens. Rather, they should belong to the particular architecture, the Hyksos period. Yeah, they built the whole citadel, yo. And you trying to say that they just and look? They got the actual survey, yo, what they built. So you saying, yeah, come on, yo.
I'm saying that
we'll revisit it. We ain't gonna get bogged down
too much on that. Yeah, between Minoans and Mycenaeans, that's just really the hiccup of what, you know what I'm saying.
All right, we'll get back on that. All right, so we just had a disagreement. That's all good.
Yeah, they're all Aegeans to be
okay. All right. Okay. There you go. All right, man. We've been on here for 2 hours, man. I think that's a good time period for us, man. Let me see who shows some love. Let me shout out everybody. Show some love. Let me see.
Hold on. Let me cash up a couple dollars.
All right. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Because I appreciate this conversation early morning, like you say.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna come back, man. If y'all show some love, man, then you know.
I like the
get the early mornings. We can have some fun. Yeah, we can talk about all of it.
Oh, but I did want this. What I want to talk to you about. So I actually commented on the thing when you and Jabari was talking about the retainer sacrifices, right? So you had them, but because he knew a little more, he was able to wiggle out of it. Because when he asked you, he was like, first, second dynasty. Well, there aren't pharaohs. How many pharaohs were in the first dynasty or something of that nature?
He shifted it. You see how he shifted it?
He tricked you because
because I was like, man, I don't know the names of them. Nah, he ain't tricked me. I knew he was scamming at that point.
Right.
Stay on the point. He said he tricked me.
But look, there's in the first dynasty, there are 10 pharaohs. There are 10 Nasus. All of them practice retainer sacrifice.
In the first
dynasty, all of them practice retainer sacrifice. Now the second dynasty,
they start getting away from it.
There are 8. I would say none of them practice it. To be quite honestly, we started seeing the Shaptis in the second dynasty. So, and you know, I mean, like you already know that people forget that your name. You know what I'm saying? Like Amon Squad, this is your lane. I would say before science. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Talk about Egyptian history. Mr. 357, he called us clowns. Ha. But what you won't do is hit that link, though. See that chat? That's like y'all sit back and watch the war. Watch the war from your house. But won't sign up and get in the war. Oh man, look at them soldiers. I'd have shot it better. I'd have shot my gun better than that. Yeah, you sound good in that chat. But to step up here and have a conversation, yo, I don't know, bro. I think the thing that really make you a clown is to be in the chat talking that talk. And we call that chatty and the patty.
Patty.
Yeah, chatty patty. You chatty. You patty. Chatty.
Yeah,
yeah, that ain't slick at all, bro. But to get up here on this panel, have a discourse, cite sources is where the level and where the line is drawn at. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, maybe we got 50,000 people in the
Well,
building.
let me. I'm gonna jump off so I can grab the cash app. I'm gonna probably cash up you a couple, $4-5. Ain't nothing too
Yeah, I
tough.
appreciate. Oh, that's love. That's love. I appreciate that. Get some coffee. Go on the
Love.
show.
What's up?
All right, man. All right, man. Show some love in here, man. Don't be just sitting there. I'm gonna put the link in there. Don't be sitting there playing, man. So we used Journal of Science for sources today. Run it back so y'all can read them yourself. All right. All right. We used this. For the record, y'all. Smithsonian Magazine. Reptical Museum. All right. We use PLOS 1. Free journal here. Peer review. See? Peer review. Open access for y'all. Right? Use that. And then we use the Journal of Science. Very prestigious sources here. All right. All right. There you go. Yeah, these Hyksos, right? They are not African too. I've heard people say that, and they're not the Hebrews. Although they got donkeys and all that, and the games y'all think y'all playing, right? But they got certain weapons in their hand that really identify them as those people that we talking about here. All right. So that's the sources we actually use, and we use the archaeological survey. All this is important to conversations, man. All right. All right. Just for the record, yo. There we go. Great conversation here, man. Show some love. We're going out the door, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Gotta get up out of here today. Yeah, we'll be right back, man, on the Community Skeptics, man. Just how we doing it, man. It is what it is, man. See y'all tomorrow, man. See how we're gonna get out this day. How we want to get out. We want to head it with, man. Yeah, you know how we do.
Protected by the Black Widow. Protected by the Black Widow. Good juju. Bad juju. I speak loud on the mic. Knowledge to the people. I speak loud on the mic. Knowledge to the people. Where the fuck you been? Bomb little niggas again. We buck the trend. It's been a trend. Poor desert. Eagles again. Never say this line again. Never sipping Heineken. Black Panther riding again. Always on my mind to win. I'm where I supposed to been. Black Widow protect me. Feds lose again. Nigga, cheat the win. Dope fiend never win. I speak loud on the mic. Knowledge to the people. Protect the youngsters. We pull Desert Eagles. Never say this line again. Never sipping Heineken is where I win. Black Panther riding again. When niggas break wild, no slack. I'm cutting like an axe. Kicked off, can't cut in the tracks. Good juju. Bad juju. Never been in a game, but stay crewed up. We answer beepers, can't be tracked, computer hack. Protect the weaker, don't wear tattoos. But if I did, it'd be the Reaper. Never say this line again, let truth be where we begin. Christians talking reckless, claiming we born in sin. Capping, let us begin. Pseudo killers to the rescue again. Never tripping, we teaching STEM forces, those tripping. Shoes again to the pseudos. It's always grim, we play to win. God killer again. Always time to defend. Bit the trend, King souls to the king. If I can, chill and be Ken. Malcolm Finch, those niggas for the win. 10 talk, bitch walk. Fast time enough for them youngest. Space age Africans. Anthony with the space. And yeah, jump, we smacking them.
Man, I'm your host, Bobby Bangin, man. I see you tomorrow morning. And with that, man, we out. Show some love, man. Y'all know how we do it. Peace.